So as we all know by now, President Trump has sent in the SS into Portland, Seattle, Chicago, because he's a dictator, don't you know? So you read the news stories that you see about this stuff in Portland, Seattle, some of these other places. It turns out this story in Louisville, Kentucky. And you read the headline and you read the text of the story, if you even bother. There's another story here that merely points out that something happened in Louisville. No context, no data, no information, nothing to tell you exactly what happened. Suffice to believe what is written. You don't need context. The Associated Press or Agency France or whoever wrote the story, that's all you need. Really depends a lot on what bias they bring to writing the story. For example, you will see in the story, if you click on the links below, that there were a group of armed protesters in Louisville, Kentucky today. And they're protesting the murder of Breonna Taylor, who, I mean, this is almost more egregious than what happened in the Twin Cities. This woman was in her home, sleeping, middle of the night, no-knock warrant, police come in, and now she's gone. I mean, if somebody started beating on my door, 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and I didn't know what the hell was going on, I would be grabbing the shotgun, you know? It's just what I would do, because that's why I have it, right? I don't want anybody coming in here and bothering me or my shit. And if someone starts pounding in and trying to break in, what are you supposed to think about that? I mean, I probably wouldn't just get out of bed and start blasting, but I certainly would arm myself and see what the hell is going on. So that's what this woman and her boyfriend did. People breaking down the door, trying to break into the house. This guy grabbed his gun, started blasting. Well, like I said, I don't think I'd do that, but I certainly would have something available in case the need were to arise, if you get my point. So there's protesters in Louisville, and it turns out there were two groups of heavily armed men, mostly. And in the Daily Beast, the headline is 3 injured in shooting as rival armed militias converge on Louisville. What would you take away from that headline? I guess what I would say is these two groups got into a shooting match. That's what I'd say. 3 injured. Oh, my God. You've got heavily armed guys over here. You got a bunch of other guys over here, all armed. They started shooting it up. That's what they want you to believe. But that's not what happened. Not even close. Let's read the story. Shots rang out in Louisville, Kentucky on Saturday as hundreds of members of heavily armed militia groups converged on the city for a protest against police brutality. Again, what would you take from the story? Well, these guys got into a shooting match, right? Louisville police confirmed 3 people were injured in this fracas, right? So you got these guys over here, these guys over there. Shooting breaks out and 3 people were injured. That's not what happened. It turns out the people that were injured were part of the Not Effing Around Coalition, NFAC, which is an all-uppercase B militia, because one of the idiots didn't know how to run their gun. Accidental discharge. Well, that's quite a different story than the headline now, isn't it? You're expecting 2 heavily armed groups shooting at each other when in fact it was a dude in the uppercase B militia that accidentally shot a few of his own group. You're not going to hear that though, are you? You're not going to hear that. You're going to have to read the story. You're going to hear it on CBS or NBC or CNN. Shooting broke out at this protest. Blah, 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 blah. It's not what happened. Lying by omission. If you hear this story at all, you're going to hear only the side of the story that is against Trump in general, against lowercase w people. You get the picture. You got it now? So it points out this group, NFAC, is led by Atlanta-based man DJ John J. Johnson. Nothing about the political leanings of this group are available in the story. We don't know if they're Trump supporters or they support Biden or Bernie or basically anything about this group of men. However, what about the other group of men that showed up with their guns? Well, you think we might know all about these guys that we need to know, right? The 3%er, far-right militia group. I'm sorry, where does NFAC stand on the political scale? Anyone? Is it somewhere in the story? Is it? No. So, excuse me, how is that fair, balanced, and reporting the news when you point out one thing but not anything else? Could you help me? Why would you say in the story they are a far-right militia group and say nothing about the other group? That's a lie by omission. So these 3%ers to act as an ad hoc security force during the rally, sparking fear among residents of clashes between the two militias. Yeah, I'd be scared too. I wouldn't want any of this bullshit going on. I just want to live my life, man. You know, I just want peace, quiet. I want freedom. I just want to do my thing, leave everybody else alone, and just be. I don't want a bunch of dudes with a bunch of guns getting to a rally, probably, maybe shooting at each other. I don't know. Not interested. So this group, the 3%er group, known for its support of gun rights and opposition to government tyranny, and for its presence at lowercase w rallies like Unite the Right in Charlottesville. A Kentucky-based 3%er group held a rally in May over gun rights, so on and so forth. Nothing said, however, about NFAC, except they were assembled in Georgia at Stone Mountain Park in protest of Confederate monuments. So what are you to take away from this? Well, there's an evil right militia group, far-right militia group, the 3%ers lining up, and they're going to do something with the all-uppercase B militia group in Louisville. Obviously, they're, well, you know. Do I have to say it? I don't think so. So if you read this story or you hear it on the news, you're going to hear only 3 people were shot in Louisville. That's it. Then you're going to hear a lot about a far-right militia. And you're going to hear a group, NFAC, peaceful protesters, all capital B people. And they're going to let you make the story up. They're not going to tell you. They're going to just let you assume certain things, aren't they? They're going to lead you in a certain direction by how they write the story. I'll put the links below. James Maxwell, thank you for listening.